Hi guys, have you started learning Java in recent past or you already have the basic and intermediate knowledge in Java? I welcome you all to join this new channel related to the Java interesting topics. Guys, I would be covering lot of interesting facts which for that you already not aware of in advance. So I have created new channel in YouTube that is Java Interesting Topics. The purpose of this new channel is whosoever has intermediate or basic knowledge of Java, he can cross check his knowledge with different programs I'll be creating over here. So this gonna be really good journey if you subscribe this channel. So in order to that, I'll be starting my very first lesson today related to the interesting things about Wrapper class. Guys, my name is Kanhaiya Chipa. I have total more than 11 years of experience in Java, Java Enterprise Edition technology stacks and presently working as a lead software engineer in one of the reputed product-based organization. So without any further delay, let's jump into our concepts right away. So let me take you to my IDE. Have a look at this program. I'll be starting off with this program for the explanation. So the today's agenda is to give you the insight about the wrapper classes and how they works. So let me start with this program, and to explain this program let me comment out this section first and put these two things initially. Now look at this program. This is pretty fair simple program. If you would look into this, I have created one class and inside the main method I have two integer variables defined and initialized, which have both two variables have two values, the same values 200 over here. So obviously it is a case of auto boxing. So now let us see what would be the output of this program. So before I run this program, I would request you to pause this video and see yourself that what would be the output of this program. Alright, so have some time and think yourself what would be the output of this program, and then I'll be helping you out further about what is interesting in this. Alright, let me explain this program first and then we'll be looking into the interesting part of this video. So for the very first line, that is integer I5, let me draw the stack and heap part for this program. So this is my stack and this is my heap memory area. This is a case of auto boxing. So for both two lines, line number 12 and 13, there would be two objects created here. Let me create quickly these two objects. Okay, and these two objects are integer object and these would be having value as 200. And you might already know about the reference which are the part of stack. If not, in future I'll be covering the Java memory management in greater detail. So I have created two reference variable from this stack to these heap memory location. Now imagine these two objects in the heap have a different addresses. Let me put up some hypothetical addresses over here. Say this, the address of this is the first object is 101 and address of the second one is let's say 102. 3, any hypothetical number I am taking over here. Now coming to the equality of equal comparison. So you might know that if you try to check the equality using the equal comparator, then it checks about the memory address of particular objects. So here if you will see that 101 and 103 have a different memory address, so it would be treated like 101 equals to 103. So you might already know that 101 cannot be equal to 103. So the answer should be false in this case. So let me quickly run this program for you and see over here. This one is false. Now question arises that we already know about this fact. So what is interesting in this? So guys, let me make some changes in this program and then we will be revisiting this program. What happens behind the scene. I have just changed the value of integer now from 200 to 100. So now let us see what happens behind the scene and keep noticing that my current output is false right now. Let me run this program one more time and see the output. See here, some magic happens now. Now it gives you true instead of false. So what is hidden behind the value changes? If I have value 200, it was giving me false, and now I have value as 100, then it is giving me value as a true. So let me explain this thing to you guys. Uh, that is an interesting fact about the wrapper class. Guys, for integer wrapper class, what Java API has been, Java developer or the Java librarian has done, that till from the value of minus 128 to positive 127, they have cached everything. Alright, so due to the caching, the purpose of the caching over here is like they don't want to create a different object when you try to access the same value, or you try to create an object using the same value. See the case here. I have created two object, integer object using the auto boxing concept, and what it is doing right now, it is creating two objects. So instead of creating two objects, if your value fall in between these two numbers from minus 128 to positive 127, then this value would be cached. So you can think of this concept similar like this string pool concept. When we create any object using the string pool, it goes to the pool, and and the subsequent time if we create the same object, then it does not create any new object. So same kind of stuff applicable here also, but that restrictions is limited to the minus 127 to positive 127 only. So let me rerun this program one more time. Like now I have 127 for both integer i5 and i6, and let me run this. True again, right? Because only one object would be exist now. So similar things like now till the value of 127, what Java will do in the heap memory area, it would cache everything. All integer value would reside into this cache area or integer pool, something like this, from minus 128 to positive 127. So kind of 256 value. Say for an example, this one is 127. So whenever you guys do something like this, it would be referred from this object itself. Now you have created one more time this object, it won't be creating new object for you. It would be referring the same object one more time. So that is why the two references, this particular references must be having the single memory address only, or the same memory address only. Say for an example 101 over here. So what's gonna happen, to check the equality using the equal comparison, it will do something like 101 equal to 101 itself. So it would return you true over here. That is the case. Now if I increase the value further, say for an example 128 here and 128 here also. Now let us check one more time, and the value, the output value must be changed from true to false. Now here we go. Now we have false value over here. So did you get the concept behind this? That Java caches for the integer wrapper class from -128 to 127. Now think about the reasoning behind the caching. I mean, what is the need to cache these value into the Java? So this concept was introduced by keep in mind of the performance enhancement, because the value between -128 to 127 are considered as most frequently used value. So there might be a chance that some developer can frequently use these value and create different objects, and it was cost a lot of memory consumption in the heap memory area. So that is why they have done like, they just have done it like put these things into the cache itself. And if you take the values about the defined boundaries, then it would be the part of the new object itself. So it would be considered like you are going to create new object. Because one more thing, like it could have been done till the thousands of values, but it doesn't a good idea, right? If you think like why they have restricted till 128 only, imagine if they have done it for 1 lakh values or 1 million values, then it would be the case that all the time into the memory heap area, these memory footprint would have been occupied over there. So there are a lot of consumption of memory when you the Java librarian would have done it for the getter values. So that is why they think of considering the value boundaries are from the -128 to 127 only. Now moving on to the same concept with different facts. Let me introduce few more facts now. So for this, let me uncomment this section now and comment it out and comment the earlier concept. So see now, I have created two integer objects, and these two integer objects have a similar value 1 and 1. Now let me know what would be the output of this program. So okay, so far we have seen that the Java caches the integer values from -128 to 127 in its cache pool or cache memory area. So there might be a chance that both variables would be pointing to this single object itself. So it should give us true. But let me run this program one more time and see the output. Strange, it gives me false. Why so? Because again I would be reconsidering or reiterate the concept of string pool. If you are aware about the string pool over there, if you create an object using the new keyword, every time the new object itself is created in heap memory area. So same case with integer wrapper class also. If you create new object using the new keyword itself, then Java would consider like it would not refer to the already cached memory area. It would create a new object for you. So this time around, if you have put up the new keyword, then it's just like two objects would be created into the heap area having the same value over there and with the different memory addresses like 101 here and 103 here. So obviously 101 is not equal to 103, that is why it is returning false. So keep in mind one thing, whenever you are using the integer class, and then the preferable way to do it using the integer auto boxing way itself, or one more far more efficient way than the auto boxing itself is the by using the value of methods provided by integer class itself. So let's look into that also. Let me clear this and let me comment out this part now. So have a look at this program now. I have created the same integer object using the value itself 100 and 100 using the value of method, and we gonna see now what happens when we execute this program. So it's true, right? So this one is behaving something like the first part we have discussed. In other words, caching is being performed over here. So you must use value of method when you try to create an object of integer wrapper class. Even I would not recommend to do the auto boxing way itself, because the auto boxing again have a lot of concepts hidden behind it, and a lot of consequences of using the auto boxing way itself that we can look in some other session where I'll be involving the interesting facts about the auto boxing itself. What is the cost of using the auto boxing in your program? So you need to be careful. So what is a takeaway from this session? That one thing you must know, that Java caches the value for the integer wrapper class between -128 to 127. So whenever we create an object, keep in mind that the object must be supportive either using this approach or the first approach. Never ever use this approach to creating an object of integer class. So that's all I have guys for you for the day. If you like my video, then I would request you to subscribe this channel so that timely on time to time you can be notified, because in future I'll be uploading similar kind of lot of similar kind of concepts. So I would request you to subscribe this channel. If you have any questions, then please do let me know, and put your question into the comment section itself. I'll try to answer you out whenever I'll have time. Until then, goodbye. Have a great day ahead and happy learning. Thank you guys. Bye.